We're out here in the code doing Operation Seaburn Deep Freeze. We're testing limitations of our Seaburn equipment along with doing tactical training. The threat's ever changing. We have to learn to adapt and overcome. We've been used to testing our equipment in the desert and heat. It's time to make sure it can operate in cold, pushing those limitations and driving the mission forward. If you don't mind the cold, it's a great time.
The whole point of Operation Seaburn Deep Freeze is to put our skills and equipment to the test in an extreme weather environment. And the extreme weather environment that we face every year is cold weather. And cold weather brings along with it a slew of problems. And what we can do to combat those things or keep our equipment operational as long as we can.
The students were given intel that they need to go to this site, clear out the area, make sure there weren't any enemy combatants there, and then go in and attempt to get samples or to also try and identify the products that were being made inside. So the students tactically came down the road to survey the situation, and then they moved in towards the building, determined which entrance they wanted to go into. Then they proceeded to get inside as fast as possible, found the room that had the lab that they were looking for. They decided where they wanted to sample, deconned as best they could at the time, and then tried to get out. The cold weather definitely adds to a difficulty in both the getting to the site that they need to exploit and sample at, as well as the actual sampling itself. Even our equipment, the battery life on all of our equipment really shortens down when we get cold. It's something that you have to think about, and not just your equipment, but also your health. We haven't really tested our cold weather equipment in 30 years. Basically, since the end of the Cold War, we don't have those tactics and techniques and procedures built up anymore for the current equipment. We have it for legacy equipment, but we don't use that anymore. So we need to do the hard work of developing those TTPs for our current equipment.
We're having a team come out to respond to our improvised device that was suspected chemical warfare agent. We're looking to see if we can find confirmation of a chlorine product or maybe some precursors to a chlorine product. We're trying to develop some analytical thinking. We're trying to hone and sharpen those response skills and the recce skills, evaluating the facility, and then once they've done some monitoring outside the facility, they're going to check inside the facility and try to identify as much as they can about what was going on inside.
We're running them through a bio scenario where they're coming across any type of bio agents. They're getting into their chem gear and they're taking samples and trying to identify what they're coming across. Then they can push the information up to higher headquarters. We have them room clearing procedures. They went through a little bit of training with our security forces members and got a little bit of shoot, movement, communicate, room clearing procedures from them to help them accomplish their missions that they're being tasked with today.
The way a Seaburn hazard reacts in heat is very different than how it will react in cold. So it's important that we understand how that's going to react and what equipment we'll need to push that mission forward.